If you want to continue to follow our adventure, click subscribe. So you don't miss anything, click the bell notification.
Hello, little us on the road, subscribers and followers.
So that was Nick. He won the contest. I had a little contest on my Facebook group of posting a video of himself saying, hello, Little House on the Road, subscribers and followers. He got the most likes. Congratulations, Nick, and thanks for the intro to our video today. I was thinking about the way I used to imagine what our adventure would be like. I used to imagine that we would go see exotic places and stay the night on exotic beaches, and I just imagined, you know, hanging out at the Grand Canyon, sleeping on right on the beach. I imagine being at a campground overlooking, you know, the whatever from top of a mountain from somewhere. There was a lot of things that I imagined, and to be honest, I fell into the same trap that a lot of people fall into. They watch YouTube videos and get on Facebook and they see all this amazing scenery that these YouTubers are posting, and you kind of think, wow, that's just amazing, and that's what I'm gonna do. The reality is that once you get out here, it's not like that. Those YouTubers are trying to make money. They go from spot to spot and they spend tons of money trying to get there to grow their channel, and I guess obviously there's some money to be made into that. I choose not to do that. You know, I want my YouTube channel to grow based on the realities of what it is going to be like for everybody who does this, that doesn't have a lot of money and wants to do it on a small budget and see as much as possible. So the reality is you get to a campground and you hang out there for a few days. You still got, you know, chores to do. You got laundry to do. You got dishes to do, supper to make, lunch to make. You got to take showers. So all these things use up your time to go out there and see these things because you didn't get to park on the beach or on top of a mountaintop. And so you spend, I would say, about 60% of your time living, being yourself like you did in a stick and brick. And then the other part of the time you go out and you'll travel. Of course, you got travel time that eats into it. And if you're like me and you're trying to work while you're on the road, you still have to do work. So that takes up an enormous amount of time, 40 hours a week. So you got to try to fit all this in just so you can go see the spots. Don't get me wrong, it's a lot easier to go see these spots now that we're traveling. But in the end, it's not just constant. The only time we actually got to do anything that I imagined was when the pop-up camper burned down. We were kind of scrambling to find spots to sleep close to resources that we could use. You know, showers and toilets and coffee, all these things that we needed. We couldn't stay in the national forest, so we came to town, and there was one spot where it was right next to the beach. It was a pull-off down the road. And I'm not even sure it was legal to sleep there. There was no sign saying not to. So we stayed there at night, slept right by the beach, and the stars were out, and you could hear the ocean rolling in, and it was absolutely amazing. Absolutely loved it. But the next morning, someone came down, just a person. I mean, it wasn't a law enforcement person. He says, I don't think you're supposed to be staying here, so you might want to move before the police get here. And he was real respectful and polite and everything. And I said, oh, thank you. And I explained our situation, that our fire, you know, burned down the camper. And he was understanding. And okay, well, I just thought I'd let you know. I think, if you really think about it, that if you're trying to do this where you go to free campsites, that those places really aren't as available as what everybody makes it out to be. YouTubers, movie directors, they're trying to sell a video, and they want you to buy into the video. And I bought into it. The reality is, you're at the campground most of the time. Now, don't get me wrong, some of the national forests that we have seen has just been beautiful. Beautiful pine trees. And I can't even tell you all the trees. We stayed in Hawk Point on top of the mountain. Well, it wasn't even really on top of the mountain. It was high up, but it wasn't one of the highest ones. Wolf Gap was actually higher. It was beautiful. We enjoyed our stay a lot. But, I mean, there was none of this majestic scenery that you had imagined. I saw a picture today on Facebook. Somebody backed their van down onto a campground. It was a model, is what it was. I mean, it wasn't a real picture. Someone just put it there to say, oh, look at this. Now, the reason I say this is because I saw the best picture that I've ever seen of someone boondocking in a pop-up camper today in the pop-up group. It was out in Colorado, And it was just breathtaking. And that's what you imagine. But for me to get out to Colorado right now, I mean, it's going to cost money and time and trip. And, you know, they're doing it for a weekend. How far away is this? I mean, I don't have all the details, but if it's just for a weekend, maybe they traveled 100 miles just to get to this little spot. Well, on Monday, they're going to have to drive 100 miles to go back to work. So it was a 200-mile vacation, weekend vacation. That was great. But if you're going to stay out there for 2 weeks, you got to worry about getting water and internet service, all these resources you need to live. That you can't just say, well, I can wait until Monday to get that. You got to go grocery shopping. So every time you need to get one of these resources, you got to drive that 100 miles. So the reality of actually getting out to these spots and doing it on a shoestring budget, it just doesn't happen. Again, these YouTubers are showing you that picture. Let's, for example, they can go out there real quick. They say, okay, this is a free campsite and everybody's going to love it. Come on out here and enjoy. But you just can't. There's just no way to do it. Again, because of the drive time and sometimes the obstacles you got to get over. Four-wheel drive vehicles may need to be used. There's a lot of things to consider when you're dreaming about this lifestyle that these YouTubers aren't telling you. And so I just want to put it out there that yes, you're going to get to see lots of cool things, beautiful things, amazing things. Carolyn and I won't trade in anything, but it's not 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's really just, you know, whenever we can, go out and see those things in between chores and grocery shopping and life. Life is just life. So hope that makes sense. So, thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe. Click like if you like the video.